Today in the crypto space, we see the market still nice and green. Bitcoin at about 37,300 and Ethereum still hovering around that $2,000 mark, a very nice psychological level. In the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins also very much in the green. Solana looking well, IMX, Injective, and many others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that did take off finally, Chainlink. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of this market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And of course, you can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Feel free to join that Discord, guys. The Discord is a great community. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, learning material, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's take a look at what's happening here with Bitcoin. You know, in the meanwhile, we see Bitcoin kind of going slow grinding to the upside, hovering around this $38,000 level. Do we actually get to about 40K? That's the question here, guys. A lot of people have that 40K level in the bullseye, and at the end of the day, it could be that the market is slightly front running, you know, anticipating that maybe we could get to that level and finally get a rejection, or maybe not. Maybe we're just kind of going sideways before we pick up some more of those bullish bids to blast right through. So this is the thing here, guys. Bitcoin's still within a bit of a range. It's forming a bit of a range, and what I like about Bitcoin making a range is that altcoins take full advantage of Bitcoin's sideways price action. So as long as Bitcoin stays around this level, you know, above that 34, above 35, give or take, you know, above 34 would be pretty good. At the end of the day, we're seeing a sideways range. We're seeing Ethereum, we're seeing altcoins rally and take full advantage of the fact that Bitcoin's not showing us volatility, and people are looking for volatility. Why? Because they want to make those gains. Okay, what else do we have here? We have BNB going sideways. Of course, Ethereum got a little bit of a pop today, 3.5%. Not bad, not bad. Solana, man of the match, 22.5%, up 38% in the last 7 days. Solana keeps on grinding to the upside. $54 Solana, guys. Who would have thought that we would see Sol back at $54, guys? If you were buying in at $8, $10, $12, you're definitely in some good gains right now. So consider yourself a very profitable individual, but you're only profitable if you take a bit profit. Now, I'm not saying to exit your entire positions, but at least trail up a stop loss so that you can put yourself in some profits just in case this market decides to roll over. Okay, here so far we do have some green price action everywhere. The market's looking really good, nice and healthy. But you know, if we do get a pullback, you want to be prepared and have a plan set in place. We have Cardano slowly grinding to the upside. We have a Polygon waking up a little bit. Polkadot, these layer ones are definitely climbing to higher levels. And AVAX, today AVAX decided to take off 15% to the upside for a layer one is pretty good. All of a sudden, AVAX is one of the top gainers today. So congrats to AVAX. You know, I've been liking AVAX. You know, downward sloping wedge, breaking out of that wedge was super bullish, and all of a sudden we see AVAX taking off 15%. So pretty good there for the AVAX ecosystem. What else do we have here? Uniswap getting a slow grinds everywhere. CRO 15%. We have Caspa still grinding to the upside, slow and steady, but it looks like a bit of a consolidation. Now, this consolidation, as it consolidates here, will give us an indication, right? We can have some metrics here that we can apply to come up with a thesis, right? That's what consolidations periods give us, data. So once we see a pattern, once we see momentum, once we see certain zones, we can start, you know, making some critical decisions. Caspa did run up really hard. So the question is, does Caspa deserve a break, a pullback? And it could be possible. So be careful here with those Caspa gains. VeChain doing pretty good, going sideways after a nice little run. Quant 1.5%, nothing really, but it is still above that $100 level, guys. I like to see Quant above $100, not lower. 100 or more. That's what we want to see, because quant, at the end of the day, that $100 level is a very psychological and a very emotional level for quant holders. So I want to see a $100 level pegged or above, basically. Near protocol doing pretty good, getting a nice bounce to the upside. Injective still doing well, making a higher high. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Injective has no chill, definitely doing well. What else do we have? Immutable X, IMX, 28%. If you got into that one, congrats. Multiverse, EGLD, another 13%. You know, after a sideways flatline price action, that's a good level of support. It looks like Elrond could be going for another leg to the upside. And we did cover Elrond last night live. And you know what? It looks like the analysis is definitely playing out. So pretty good here for everybody that joined me live at 7:30 Eastern. Guys, feel free. I'm live tonight again at 7:30. Actually, I'm live 6 evenings a week talking about crypto news and price action. So feel free to join. And don't miss out. You know, click the bell so that you don't miss out on those notifications. Render, waking up a little bit, but still within range. You know, Render has done very, very well. It's been kind of sideways for the last little while, but at $2.33, kind of pegged there around that level. For me, it's like, you know, it's better used to put your capital to work and find other projects that have been running. Render right now is kind of a stable coin for the last little while, and that gives you opportunities to look for volatility, so you can grow your gains, right? That's the name of the game here. So Phantom up 12%, pretty good. What else? Lots of good gainers today. Rocket Pool doing pretty good. Illuvium waking up. We have TKX waking up. We have Terra Luna Classic. What's going on with Luna C waking up 36%? Honestly, guys, this thing could make a comeback. You never know. If you bought the bottom of the range right now, this thing could definitely... What bothers me, it's still a large cap. So although it is up 36%, you know, this is a large cap, and with a price tag of 0.0000 means that a lot of burning still needs to exist. So let's see what happens here with Luna C. They're still trying to, you know, get it back going, and you know, all the power to them. Obviously, there's still people that are holding tokens from back in the day when the Terra Luna crashed. So you know, why not? We have Kuji waking up and hitting that top 100, up 170% here, guys. Crazy gainer. And that's it. The rest, you know, this market is still very, very green. We still have altcoins running. We have a lot of good gainers, and this is a very indicative of an altcoin season, given the fact that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin and altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of going sideways. Okay, guys, so this is pretty cool. If we see a continuation, guys, be prepared to take a bit of profits. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin our analysis. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And of course, today's video is all about Chainlink, but I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. Right now, we do know the overall consensus of the market is looking nice and green, still very, very bullish. Now, what does Bitcoin have to say about that? We broke above this very, very important level. It was a nice extension level, 1.618. It was a top of this, you know, ascending channel here, and all of a sudden it's breaking to the upside. Now, where's the next level of resistance? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. We see that Bitcoin at the end of the day could reach about 40K. For me, that's the next level of potential resistance. I've been calling this level for a while now. Keep an eye out on this level. I took a bit of profits here, took a bit of profits here. I bought a little bit of a dip here, taking a bit of profit here. And this is the name of the game here, guys. We don't know where the exact tops and bottoms here but on the channel, we definitely pay attention to probability. Probability right now is that we are closer to a potential pullback than we are to a continuation to the upside. Now, we could get a parabolic run like altcoins have been running. Right, we could go up straight green, straight to the upside, continue going. But statistically speaking, where we are right now, and given that we do have a bit of time still for the bull run, we could still come back down, test the previous lows, come back to about 25K. It's still very possible. Even a little bit of a retracement down to 32K or something like that is still very possible, and we have to be prepared. And how we could prepare for that is ensuring that you have a plan, or at least you have some dry powder, some capital ready to deploy upon a dip, because the last few dips here, if we do get one, are crucial. They're the last accumulation periods that you may have here for the bull run. And one of the major strategies for me is to always ensure that I have cash on the side ready to deploy. At least 20% of my portfolio is always in stables or very liquid in order for me to, you know, find opportunities and buy dips along the way. Buying here, taking profits here, taking profits here, buying back here, taking profits here is a great way to basically pack a bag, a short-term position trading for a long-term hold. Now the question is 40K, is it around the corner? Very possible. The 4-day right now is overbought. The daily is overbought and going sideways, and you can see that based on RSI is still overbought and kind of invalidating any bearish divergences that we may have in the last little while. So let's keep an eye on that. You know, staying in overbought conditions means that the Bitcoin price could continue to the upside in the immediate short term. And we have the 4-hour exiting overbought, but you know that the 4-hour has been invalidating all kinds of bearish divergences, especially on those altcoins. So why can't Bitcoin do the same thing? We are definitely in an overbought scenario, or exiting an overbought scenario. We exited overbought, came down, got a little bit of a reset, especially on lower time frames, and then all of a sudden back into overbought here on the 4-hour. So do we kind of hesitate here for the next little while and see Bitcoin continue? Do you see altcoins continue? Very, very possible here, guys. And unless we see Bitcoin drop below, I would say 34K, altcoin season on. Bitcoin is still going at it. We have a good opportunity to build, let's say, an inverse head and shoulders, or whatever pattern that we can kind of build here. And in the meantime, Bitcoin will probably go sideways, or maybe within a structure that is as big as high as at about 40K. And in the meantime, we'll see altcoins take full advantage of this, you know, basically boring price action right around this level. And if that's the case, guys, make sure you have those bags packed on those altcoins, because they're going to run. And we're already seeing the layer ones, the larger layer ones like AVAX waking up. Are we going to see the others like Cardano and you know, even layer 2s, Polygon, Matic? Maybe we'll see a continuation of Matic, because Matic has been doing pretty good in the last little while as well. So we got to see, you know, Algorand, we got to see many do very well. And of course we're seeing Solana do well, but Solana is in a very undervalued state, so that's why we're seeing some really good gains with Solana. So a lot of good stuff happening here in the immediate short term in the last little while. Definitely some good gains, definitely some good opportunities yet to come. All right, guys, let's take a look at Chainlink. That's the project for today. We know that the market is green. We see Bitcoin in a good position for a continuation for altcoins, and Chainlink being one of the altcoins. I feel like Chainlink could definitely continue going well. Now, especially Ethereum. Seeing Ethereum look bullish, and Chainlink being the major oracle for the Ethereum blockchain, the data provider for a lot of the projects built on Ethereum. This is a real use case of Chainlink. It's a requirement, it's a necessity for a lot of these projects. So if Ethereum does well, we expect Chainlink to do well, right? In this case, we saw Chainlink break out of range. Guys, we've been following this range. You know, the crypto space, not only me, a lot of people involved in crypto have been watching Chainlink go sideways for over 450 days, or give or take, and you see it's been going sideways. You know, at this level, I was like, look, if you're going to take a bit of risk, this is the time to take chance. And these green arrows were definitely bought. Now all of a sudden we got to top of the range, take a bit of profit, we broke through, and we got basically right through the volume gap, and we kept on going, guys. There was enough bullish momentum to actually keep on going. Now the question is, you know, are we overstaying this? Are you full on? Are your positions fully intact? Did you take any profits? This is a bit of an issue for me. When you're in this type of gains, you definitely have to be protective of them, right? Now, yes, we could be in a bull run. This price down here could never be, it could be possible that you're never going to see that again. Now, what about if we do get a retracement? Now, in my opinion, it's always good, if you want to consider yourself a trader, it's always good to be able to at least get in and out of the market with a short-term spot position that is small. A small short-term spot position, and allocate up to maybe up to 50% of your bag to short-term spot positions. What I mean by that is be able or be willing to trade a little bit on spot with a certain portion of your bag, just in case this thing decides to roll over. Now, it looks really well right now. It looks really good. It looks really hot. It looks like it wants to continue. But what if? The question is if, right? So horizontally, we are getting to a bit of an area of resistance. We do see another area of a volume gap, an empty space that could act as a resistant point. The bottom of the volume gap, the top of the volume gap. Let's isolate this. Let's make it a little bit clear. This is the bottom. This is the top. Right, and then we can make this emphasize the importance of this level by putting a red box right in here, and you can see that usually my red boxes play out pretty good. Now this was the top. If you took a bit of profits, you saw that there was a bit of resistance right around this level. So now all of a sudden we're back going to higher levels. We're looking for horizontal resistance. The next level for me, where I would be considering to take a bit off the table, is at about $17 and about 40 cents. Okay, and if we break right through, because there's some empty price action right in here, guys, the next level to watch out for is, again, the top of the volume gap, which is at about 22 $2, which, guys, at this point, if you happen to buy the dip right around here at the bottom of the range, or even the back test, or anywhere around here, which was at the bottom of the volume gap, because I was anticipating that if we are going to get rejected at this red, this would be a good buy the dip opportunity. But you know what? It didn't happen. We kept on going. So these are the arrows that we have to basically protect. And if you take a measured move, or take a percentage measurement from the average position, like right into here, and taking a bit of profit here, you're up 82%. Taking a bit of profit here, you're already up 130%. Taking a bit of profit here, if we get there, which I think that we could, you're up already 233%. And of course, it keeps on going, guys. So this is why it's important to take a bit of profits. But more importantly, you know what I would be doing right now is trailing up that stop loss. Put a stop loss deep into profits. I would be putting one right here at about $10, $11. I would be putting one, trailing it up as it keeps on going, trailing it up to ensure that both I take profits off the top, and if it does roll over, that you're stopping yourself out in some heavy profits. Why? Because you took the risk, you took the chance, you definitely worked hard to get this entry, and you don't want to give back your gains to the market. The market's going to hunt that liquidity. But the good news is that first, there's a lot of levels that we got to hunt liquidity for. I believe that this breakout point is where a lot of people decided to get in, because there's a lot of breakout traders out there that get in only when the structure breaks. But if you bought the bottoms, the likelihood of this liquidity being tested means that we're coming down to make a lower low. And I don't think that the market is really looking for a lower low at the current moment. It would mean that Bitcoin would be looking for a lower low as well, below the previous low, the major low, which is I think at about 16K. So this is a thing here, guys. I feel like any dips that we have here in the market on any altcoin, including Chainlink, could be just backtest of previous support and resistance, and those backtests should be bought as a DCA opportunity. Okay, so right now Chainlink could be getting to about $17-18, and maybe as low as coming back to about $12, and maybe coming back even as low as about $10, give or take, to test the top of this channel once again to confirm it for support. And that would be bullish. Even though I'm talking about retracements, that's still bullish. Why? Because then we can get confidence with the fact that this is support, and we are going to get in heavier at this level because of that. Those confirmations mean that now you can get in with a bit more risk, heavier position sizes, and so you got to look at those dips as positive opportunities to be able to accumulate with confidence. Okay, let's go into lower time frames here. On the 4-hour, we can see what's happening. In fact, you know what, let's stay in the daily for a second, because I want to look at the momentum oscillators. It's still, the momentum on the RSI is still trekking to the upside. You can see no bearish divergence happening just yet here on the RSI, and no bearish divergence also on the actually the MACD showing a bit of bearish divergence, because we are making higher highs on the price action, while the clusters of these histogram bars right here are making lower highs. So you can see that this is class A bearish divergence on the MACD, which could still play out, no doubt, but these EMAs are still facing up, willing and ready to go to higher levels. So this is why those trailing stop losses are great, because you don't necessarily have to exit your position. You just have a level that basically locks in those gains at that level, and that way you can just rest assured that you remain profitable despite what happens here in the market. Okay, so that's important. Now, if we get into lower time frames, you can see that the price action is still grinding up. Nothing has really changed, but this bearish divergence that we were talking about earlier on at resistance got totally invalidated. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we were coming down lower with the price action, and all of a sudden the trend broke and we came up. But guess what? If you look at what's happening here from a bigger picture, you are still making higher highs on the price action, but the momentum on the 4-hour is still coming down. You can see that this high is much lower than this high, but these divergences have been disrespected for the last little while, and they're just indications of potential reversals. And what we really need to look at is the bigger time frame, because in the bigger time frame, like the weekly, these are just little spots in the price action that don't really matter, because the weekly is on a rampage. It's waking up. The weekly is waking up. Look at this. It's overbought. The weekly is overbought. So what we really want to do is get an indication that the weekly is done and we're getting divergence on the weekly, or at least the 4-day. Give me an indication that the 4-day is getting weak. Right now, the 4-day, the weekly, and even the daily is not giving you any bearish divergence. So this 4-hour divergence could continue playing out, meaning creating these lower highs on the RSI while the price action continues looking bullish based on the larger term time frames, like again the weekly, the 4-day, and the daily. Right, these are all big time frames that have a lot of strength to continue this price action to the upside. So Chainlink, at the end of the day, right now, is definitely deep in the green. We are getting a bearish divergence on the 4-hour. That's why I'm saying there's some negativity, but prepare for that negativity by trailing up the stop loss and just scraping some profits off the top, even if it's 10% at each level of resistance. 10%, 10%, 10%. It does help you understand that you have a bit of liquidity on the side ready to go just in case it decides to roll over. All right, guys, thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, do the channel a massive favor and slap the like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Of course, I'm going to be live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects that you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is a great community, lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, learning material, and all those good stuff. All right, guys, see you tonight, and don't forget, buy the dip.